Hey guys, JThorn24 here, aka Loneway, and today we're going to do a quick tutorial on planetary interaction. Pretty straightforward. You're going to need some form of transport ship, and going to need some command sensors. Today I'll be using the Lava and Barren command sensor, but depending on what planets you have in the system that you wish to do planetary interaction, and what commodities you wish to make, will depend entirely on which ones you'll need. Handy little thing that you can use is this website here, eveplanets.com, and you can check a system. So we will use Jita as an example. So Jita, it'll tell us what we can potentially make in that particular system. I don't recommend using Jita, because it will probably get you ganked. But as you can see here, there are 2 barren planets, 2 gas, 1 temperate, 1 lava, 1 ice. Sorry, 3 barren. Those are your planets there. And here we can see our T1, T2, T3 and T4 commodities. Now, you'll also get what is known as base resources, which are these things like aqueous liquids, base metals, microorganisms, noble metals, etc. Each planet has an assortment of different ones. So we're going to be going with a lava planet, and what you can do here is you can click lava, click push, and it will basically show you what you can make directly on that planet. So as you can see here, we can make T1 products, T2 products, and 1 T3 on a lava. Barren, again, we can go up to T3. Plasma, however, if I remember correctly, Plasma will be the best T3 product for one planet, which is robotics. When you get into the later stages of T3 and Tier 4, you are going to need multiple planets. So what we can do here is we can also look at the different schematics for our commodities. I will be making mechanical parts and robotics today, so I'm going to show you how to set up those. However, one of the easiest and in demand that you can do even with low skills is the coolant. Just click on coolant to show you. Here you would need ionic solutions, aqueous liquids, then convert them and then make coolant. Coolant is used in fuel blocks, and it's a very easy one to do on one planet. You can use either the storm or a gas planet. Storm tends to be slightly better yields of ionic and aqueous liquids. So storm is a better one, but you can do it on gas. You can do that in high sec, and it will make you a tidy passive income. Okay. So first thing you're going to need to do is going to make sure that you have your command centers in your cargo hold. So we're just going to run duck right here. I'm going to do stop. Just my heading. Over the bodies. Okay, so what you want to do, I'm going to be using this lava planet here and this barren planet here. What you're going to do is you're going to right click, go to view in planet mode. We have a few different little things here. So this is the basically the PI user interface. As you can see, there's our Go orbiting around for player owned customs office. And we're going to click on this scan first. Now we're just going to head back, and with the lava planet we are going to want to make our robotics, or at least our initial stages. So we're going to go to schematics and then go down to robotics. Here we go. So what we want off the lava planet, we can either grab the crystals, considering we don't have a plasma planet in system. So we're going to grab the non-CS crystals and the heavy metals. That's what we're going to get from here. So the heavy metals, the non-CS crystals, and we're going to make these. So, and we're going to be going up to consumer electronics. So we want to look for heavy metals and non-CS crystals. So we go back to the game. Non-CS crystals. As you can see, white is the highest density, with blue being the lowest. What we're going to do is going to stretch this as far as we can, and we're going to look around for a nice juicy spot. You know, that looks pretty good there. So that's the first one. I'm going to click heavy metals. And yeah, so ideally, as you can see, we have this one circle here. If I just decrease it a little bit, well, increase the range. See, there's a good spot right there. There's a good spot there. And then CS crystals, we've got this little red band here. At this range, there is no white, so that's a nice little concentrated bit. However, this little smile, I guess it is, this spot here is going to be a good one to set up. If you can see, what we want to do is we want to put our command center roughly about there. So as you can see, if I click back on the scan for just a moment, sort of in between the two, nice and close. All you're going to do then is hit submit. So you can do this on a trial account. There is no skills involved for this stage. Literally you can put one command center down. Now there won't be a great deal you can do. We'll just load up my training queue. I'll show you the skills that you're gonna need. So skills that will make this more profitable is command center upgrades and planetary consolidation. Remote sensing will allow you to see these colors. You only need it to level 1 in order to do it on a planet that you're in the system with. So don't worry too much about getting remote sensing very high. You only need it to level 1. And then, let's say, command center upgrades and interplanetary consolidation. Interplanetary consolidation will allow you to have one extra planet per skill level. You can get up to a total of 6. And each level of command center upgrades will increase the level of your command centers, which is what we're going to go through now. Oh, we will in just a moment. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to planet 1, which is our Baron. We're just going to somewhere drop the next command center again. So this time we're going to be looking for base metals and noble metals, which we can get on a barren planet. It's the only place where we can get both that isn't a plasma, and the system I'm in currently has no plasma planet. So we go to scan again. We're looking for base metals and noble metals. Well, there's a high concentration of noble here. What about base metals? There's a good concentration just there. So this one's going to be a little bit more extensive. So there, and So we're looking around about here to put our command center. Command center about, yeah, about there. Submit. Okay, so our command centers are on. Now what we can do, because this bit does take a little bit of time, is we can dock up. The only time we actually need to be outside in space is to launch the command centers and to collect from POCOs and do launches, which we'll go into more depth later on. So the planetary colonies, which if you haven't got it on your bar like myself, on your Neocom settings, business, planetary colonies, you can drag and drop this onto your Neocom bar. I suggest doing it that way, it's just a little less hassle. Okay, so we're going to go back to our lava planet here. So, as you can see, we just have our little command center. Now each level of the command center will have a CPU and power grid capacity. Now, what you'll see is you come here, and as you can see, we can upgrade the various levels. I don't have command center upgrades to 5 yet, so the maximum I can put this up to is 4 or 5, technically, because you start off at 1. As you can see there, I'm going to get an extra 11,000 power grid and an additional 19,640 CPU. It is going to cost me 4.2 million. We click upgrade, and then we click submit. Okay, you can see my wallet's flashing. So, on here we wanted the non-CS crystals and the heavy metals. So as you can see here, our heavy metals we're going to need to pull from there. We're going to need to pull our crystals from here. So what we want to do is we want to get our external control units. Our extractor control units. Now, as you can see, if I put this here, I can cover pretty much this entire region here. Circle will denote what kind of area I can extract out of. So we want that one there, and then we're going to switch back to the heavy metals, just to make sure that we can cover it. So on this one though, considering it's only a small area, I can put this right next to it. We'll click submit. Now what we need to do is control click and connect. Hold control click, let go control and connect. So these two extractor units are now connected to the command center. They have like a travel line. Think of them as roads because we are on a planet. So now we have two extractors, we can begin to extract things. But the only problem is we are going to want to turn those into something. So what we need first is a storage facility. And then we are going to want two basic processors, and the reason we want two is because we're pulling two different base resources, so they both need a industry facility each. We have two there. I'm going to click submit, and we're going to connect all these up. Remember, hold control, left click once, release control, click on the next chain. So there we go, all this is not connected. And then we click submit. Now, what we want to do here is we want to get our schematics. So the schematics that we are going to need, we'll go back over to Eve Planets. We're going to need crystals for chiral, and heavy metals for toxic metals. So those are the two schematics we need. So we need a chiral structures. Click on that one. We're going to click here, on here, and we'll put toxic metals. And click submit. So these two facilities now require an input. So this first one, you get this onto heavy metals. Now here we have extractor head units. Clicking on these will allow us to extract from a given area. The longer the cycle, the larger the area is required. I recommend a maximum of 1 day 15 minutes. And the reason I say 1 day 15 minutes is because that's the most that you can do on 15-minute cycles before it changes. Oh, they've changed it. There we go. Okay, so to a maximum of 1 day 1 hour now. So I would put it to 1 day 45 minutes. Every 15 minutes this will cycle and pull off every cycle. Oh sorry. Every hour I'm getting 6,000 just over 6,000 units of heavy metals. I usually put 4 on each. So we're gonna get 24,000 units an hour. Let me just change the scan a little. Let's see if I can just, there we go, yeah. So if I drag these, and it is kind of pointless to overlap them, because if you overlap these, there we go, 25,000. If you overlap them, I'll just show you. So this is overlapped. Here, 3 of them, the 3 that are overlapped, are no longer efficient, and my output has dropped. So you want to get them as close as possible, but just make sure that they're not losing any efficiency. And we install the program and click submit. So every 15 minutes now I am pulling off of this extraction area. And what we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing. This is for non-CS crystals. What I'm going to try to do is just get the start of a white zone. There we go, like that. Again, we're going to put this to 1 day 45 minutes. So it's on a 15-minute cycle timer. I roughly want to be pulling off the same amount as the other. This is 21,000. See if I can a little bit more of it. 21,000. It's okay. It's pretty close. So there we go. We have now started to pull off our base materials. Now we need to tell the extractors where to put our products. So clicking on it, we click on, it will come up with a little dialog box. Second one along is products. Click that, and click on the item. Double click. We're going to click on the storage facility. Then click create route. We'll do the same. The heavy metals. Submit. So these products are now, as you can see here, we cannot create because it's too short. Yeah, create route. There we go. Submit. So these now on products, as you can see, are now routed. So as you can see, so here we need crystals to go into this one. So we click on the storage, click on routes. As you can see, we always have this. You get two options, create route and delete route. We're going to click on create. We're going to select our factory. If you select the wrong factory, it will tell you that it's invalid, just in case you have multiple. Create route. And then we're going to do the same thing again for our heavy metals. Create routes, and submit. So now we have our extractions, pulling off stuff that we need, and we've got our basic T1 production. So basically every 30 minutes it's going to produce 20 chiral structures, and every 30 minutes it's going to produce toxic metals. So now what we want to do is we now want to turn that into our next we need another storage facility, sorry. No, storage facility. Submit. And we're going to do the same thing again with our products. Create routes, storage. Oh, does help if I route them. Again, control, left click, release control, click on the destination. Products, create routes. Submit. Okay, so we're going to need our next level of schematic, which is, so cancel that, sorry, advanced industry. Submit. Schematic. We are going to want consumer electronics. Install. So what we want to do now is we want to send our chiral structures and our toxic metals directly to here. So every hour we will now create 5 units of consumer electronics, which is half of what we require. So what we're also going to do is we're going to put a lava launch pad. Now the launch pad is required to send up bulk items. So our product is going to get directly shipped to our launch pad. As you can see, there's like a little timer bar on these. So as you can see, these are flashing, waiting for products. Now, you can eventually, for example, this is obviously bearing in mind that I have command center upgrades for So I can now, with this, I can make 2 sets of electrolytes, 2 sets of toxic metals, and 2 sets of consumer electronics, meaning that I can now actually have an output of 10 per hour. Submit. I've selected the wrong one there. My bad, sorry about that. Gyro, there we go. Now we can get it up to there. Create a route to there. Well, and yeah, every time you do these, it does cost ISK. Sometimes C. Routes. I've got nothing coming in. Change. So, there we go. This is our first planet. As you can see, this is an unusual setup. I normally, personally, wouldn't do this. As you can see, though, we have the basics down. You see, we have 2 extractors. We have a command center. We have our spaceport. A couple of storage facilities. And we are doing 2 production lines. As you can see here, 10,000 cubic meters is the limit on your launch pad. Now bear in mind, you can only do 1 launch, and depending on how much you have will depend on the time you have to wait until your next launch. But this, we can leave this now and check on it every day. So I'd always try to keep it at the same sort of time. So I'd always try and do half an hour. Within the half an hour. So 24 hours or thereabouts will be good. So if we do this every day at between 12:30 and 1 every day after downtime, we can get a nice steady thing. And as you can see, each hour we are going to require, it's going to output 7.5. It's going to do 15 between the 2. So we'll just get the calculator out. So we have a 10,000 M3 hold in the launch pad. We can divide that by 15, which means it will take 666 hours to completely fill. So that's 27 days. So as long as we come back and restart the extractors same time every day, we don't actually need to launch anything for nearly a month, nearly 4 weeks. Right, consumer electronics. Let's just go to Eve Central. Eve Central. Okay, so we see here. Consumer electronics. So one is currently going for, and we'll look at Jita's prices. So here we go. Jita's cheapest is 10,000. That's not too bad. 10,000. We're getting 10 every hour. Let's get the so that's 100,000 every hour. And it was 666 hours that we could run this for. Because your PI will still work during downtime as well. 100,000, that's 1 million. 100,000. 6.6 million. Oh, sorry. 66 million. 66 million a month on one planet. Doing all you need to do from now on is every 5 minutes, every day. Sorry, every 5 minutes. Every day, check up on it. It'll take 5 minutes of your time. Just to restart the extractors. And this is a standard sort of pull and refine. So we're pulling the materials directly from the planet, and we're manufacturing our product on the same planet. There are other methods in which we can do. For example, here we could have set up 4 extractors. So we'd have one extracting here. As looking at the heavy metals, we could have had one up here, so that it's pulling from over here, one down here. Oh, so yeah, we could have put 2. One roughly here, one roughly there, pulling out of these 2 spots, the CS crystals. We could have had one over here, one over here, and all this planet would do is it would extract. It wouldn't do anything else other than extract. And then we'd have what is known as a factory planet. And the factory planet doesn't have any extractions. It purely has factories. So the factory planet will basically turn the raw materials, will export the raw materials to the factory planet and manufacture commodities directly on that. You can only really do that though with a barren planet, but you can get higher end commodities that sell for a lot more. It does take more time, but you'll make more money in the long run. So that's pretty much how we would do it. So on our barren planet, we will then make the mechanical parts. So this will be what we do on our barren planet. We'll make mechanical parts, and we have our consumer electronics on the lava planet. Now the system I'm in happens to have several barren and 2 lava planets, so I could do the same thing, the same setup on the other lava planet that we already have. So a similar setup to this, and we can pull off another 10 consumer electronics per hour. And if we can do the same sort of thing on the 2 barren planets, so that we're getting 20 of each commodity per hour, that means that we can make more robotics. And the robotics will up to our other planet, and I'll show you on the barren. Time to switch around. There we go. So, if we were to put on our advanced it's a high-tech one. No. It's only... It is the advanced one. It's alright, it's been a while since I've done this. Do apologize. Okay. So, we need 10 of each per hour. And it gives us 3 robotics. So if we get in 20 of each per hour, that means we can set up 2 factories. Meaning we can get 6 robotics every hour. And robotics worth a little bit more. Can't you tell what I spend most of my time doing online? So we could have our 5th planet as another barren planet, just purely turning mechanical parts and the electronic consumers into robotics. And robotics in Jita are currently going at 76,000 a unit. Get up our trusty calculator again. 76,000 makes 6 an hour. It's going to give us just under 500,000 an hour. So you think over a 24-hour period, just under 11 million. Course of a week, 70 million. Over the course of 4 weeks, 306 million. Not really bad, considering all we're doing at the moment with this setup is it's going to take us a while. It takes about 30 minutes to set up each planet, and obviously we are going to be setting up 5 planets in total. That's what I can do at the moment. So we are looking at about a 2.5 hour initial setup, and also probably an expense of around about 50 million in total. So all of that will pay off eventually. Now the other things that to take into consideration as well is you will pay NPC tax in HiSec, and that's a static 10%. There is another skill that will reduce that ever so slightly. Just can't remember the name of it. I believe it's under. Yes, customs code expertise. What this will do is this will reduce the import and export empire tax, which is, even if it's player owned in HiSec, you will still have to pay the NPC tax as well, and it will reduce it down, having that, so it won't become as expensive. Always check the planet's POCO, player owned customs office, before deciding where to set up shop. Some places in HiSec, some people are really nasty, and they have set it quite high. However, I live in nullsec, and the system that I live in, my corporation owns the POCOs, so I only have a very small tax. Nullsec planets are slightly better in terms of quantity of materials on the planets as well, so that will help a bit. Some of the planets in HiSec can be a little drab. Good starting, as I said, good starting commodities to make with PI, especially whilst just learning, are the fuel block PI commodities. So those are, I'll just bring up. So oxygen, is going to be a good one. Coolant, enriched uranium, mechanical parts. They're very easy. As you can see, you can make them on one planet. So you can make the consumer electronics. They do sell, just not as much as mechanical parts. But mechanical parts is a direct commodity into nice fuel manufacturing. Just show you. It's my print. But it's staring me right in the face, and I just there we go. So as you can see, these are the planetary commodities up here. We need oxygen, coolant, mechanical parts, rich uranium, and robotics, just to make 40 blocks of fuel. So these will sell, they will always sell, they will also sell quickly. So that's a basic introduction to planetary interaction. It's a good starting base. I would recommend using that method just once you get started with planetary interaction. Get used to the feel, and once you get a little bit more comfortable and you get better skills, then you can progress into doing advanced methods of planetary interaction, which will increase your income. If there are any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope this has been helpful for you. My name is JThorn24. This was an EVE Planetary Interaction Guide.